It's the GITA Interviews, the premier global IT solution podcast, where we talk to the CEOs and business leaders who are growing their companies through global partnerships. I'm your host, Emery Geosits, the Executive Director of the Global IT Alliance. Hello, and welcome to the GITA podcast. I'm Emery Geosits, the Executive Director of the Global IT Alliance, and I'm thrilled today to be joined by Juergen Schaefer. Juergen Schaefer is a member of the Board of Directors of Bechtle and a longtime friend, and I'm happy to have him join me today from Neckarsulm, Germany. Good afternoon, Juergen.
Hi, Emery.
Very good to see you. Very good to see you. I'm glad you were able to join. So, the things that were going through my mind when I knew I was going to do this podcast with you, knowing you for the 13 years plus as I do, I had many memories and things I wanted to talk about. So I'm glad you could join me for this cup of tea together.
Thank you. The fun and the pleasure is on my side.
Yeah, thank you. So Juergen, 34 years at Bechtle, you must have seen a lot. Can you tell me a little bit about your career trajectory and where you are today and your role currently at Bechtle?
Okay, so my story in a nutshell, because it's not so woo that we needed. I started, matter of factly, 34 years ago in a startup, a little startup in Germany, a little system house. I was member number 24 of the team, and we tried to be original Heilbronn system house. But that was the pioneer work and the early days. I think some 5-6 years after that, one of the founders had the idea to come up with an IT catalog, which we did, which became, they say, a standard thing across, then in the later years across Europe. From the catalog business, we moved into the e-commerce business. From the e-commerce business, we moved into the, let's call it what they called at that time, telesales business. So the product, to sell the products and to talk with the customers via phone and by then later per video. We started in Germany and then expanded to Europe. So we took that business model, which we had in Germany, and started in UK, in Switzerland, then in Netherlands, Belgium, France, and so on. And then we became really a European company, which we are right now, with German roots. Okay, and I was responsible for building up that Bechtle Direct. We had the need to have a warehouse, a purchasing team, the product management, everything. So we built it as it came along, and I was sometimes the right guy at the right time in the right place. Sometimes I was the wrong guy in the right place. Sure. But all in all, it was a fantastic journey. Never boring. Boring.
Yeah, for sure. So today, how many countries is Bechtle officially in?
14.
Wow. So impressive. And I know one of the things you undertook throughout those years is the idea of building a customer center that supported all of Europe. So can you tell me a little bit about that and some of the difficulties and or challenges you faced during that time?
Yeah. That was a bit of evolution too, because in the beginning we had that business model, we transposed it, like I said, to UK, to France and so, but chacun pour soi. So everybody did it with the customers in his or her country, and that was it. And then we started, I think it was when we started up in Poland, we thought, okay, how can we bring customers to Poland? And the idea was quite logical. If a customer is happy in country A, maybe the same customer who is as well in country B could be happy with us in country B. So we build up the international community of people who have the same service level and approaches towards the customer, so we could offer our customers a really, at least across those 14 countries, one service level with a certain standard.
Right.
Portfolio, as well as I said, the service level. And that sounded so simple, but to get it done, it was a bit, not a tricky bit, but it was a bit of work to be done. to convince the people about a customer is maybe very, very small in country A, but quite big in country B, C, and D. And so to adjust the service levels to the right. But I think we managed to do it quite fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just see the growth of Bechtle over the years is very impressive. And actually, that was the foundation that you and I first met, of the concept of now let's create that customer experience consistently with GITA back in 2012. And we're here today with GITA thriving and working so closely with Bechtle. So that's great. You know, customers, of course, are the reason we do everything, right? So the customer drives our changes, drives our initiatives, drives our service levels, et cetera. What do you see from both the vendor community or the global customers that has changed over the years from what they'd like to see globally?
Yeah, maybe in the very, very early days, I'm talking about the last century, it was more the country specific approach was the rule, and the more international approach was the exception. And that changed dramatically. So we live on one planet, and most of the companies work and try to work beyond borders, and we do the same. And by the way, GITA came into being when some customers were quite happy with us being their European partner, and they asked us, okay, now I need the same service level in the US. And we thought, oops, how can we manage that? And the story behind is that there was a clear decision to be done. Do we start in the US? Then the same customer would come, oh, now I'm in Brazil. Now I'm in Bangalore. Now I'm in Australia. So we said, that it's no use to make that run. And we don't have the power and the energy, the money and everything, and the management capacity. So we tried to find partners who work with the same attitude towards the customers like we do. And that was the beginning of GITA. And that was when Mr. Emery Geosits, James Knapp and Juergen Schaefer met and came together. And we felt as a family right from the start. And it's our 10 years anniversary this year.
It is. We've come a very long way, and it's been a great experience. One of my career highlights, I like to say. So it's been great.
Sorry,
yeah,
it was only the first half of your question about the customers, and I think as well with the vendors, because the vendors back in 2000, it was very, very country per country approach, and now it differs vendor per vendor and strategic partner per partner, but the vendor see our branch as well as at least on a continental view and as well on a worldwide view. And due to the size we reached, we are having quite good contacts on a worldwide level with the strategical partners of us. And so that has grown as well dramatically together.
Yeah, very true. One thing I see from the vendors, and I think you'll agree with this, is that the power of the members of the GITA Alliance means so much to every manufacturer individually in their country that when you put them together, it's incredible breadth and depth and customer reach. And the vendors want to deal with partners that they know and that they trust. Yep. And I think that's been a big advantage for us. So sticking on the topic of GITA, you've seen it evolve from just our idea to where it is today. How do you see the future of our alliance, and what are you hearing from both customers, vendors, your own sales reps within Bechtle on the power of such an alliance?
First, let me highlight first the USP of GITA, which is my point of view, our cultural fit. We didn't bring together companies from, let's say, from Excel charts or some this size and this size. We brought together companies and cultures and people who think more or less alike, and that's a tremendous USP, like I said, and that collaboration works very, very well. And it can develop still further because we have so much in common. And if we got a little bit more energy flowing through our veins and make, because every company is, I think, more or less successful in his or her territory, but the combination, like you said, Emery, that makes it much more powerful. And we should, my point of view, spend a bit more energy, what we do right now, at least theoretically, to bring that power to life.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, what I'm noticing more than anything else is the vendor recognition of these are my partners, and this is where I need to spend my time and my efforts and have that consistent. That's very, very true. I was thinking about, your expansive career, and when you and I have talked where very casually, you've got a lot of accomplishments in your career. And I just see the team you've built and the culture at Bechtle, which you are clearly a major part of building. Are there a couple of accomplishments in your career that you would say you're most proud of, or that you look back on and say that was amazing?
What is amazing, and we were just on holidays, and when I returned on holidays, my wife asked me, we were hiking in the forest, and she said, "Oh, tomorrow business starts again." And I said, "Yeah, I'm looking forward to it." And that's not a negative towards Ute, my wife. It's a positive about the crew, the community. We built up with GITA and within Bechtle across Europe such a tremendous team of people who are, for example, some are since 20 years with us, 25 years with us, 10 or 15 years with us. So it's not a hit and run community. It's a really grown-up community, and I'm really proud that I'm part of that extraordinary crew because we share the same values. And the same cultural pillars are with us, and that brings such a lot of energy, even in dire situations.
True. One of my best memories of time we've spent together is we went to Cape Canaveral, Florida. I know you are, judging by the poster behind you, I know you're a big fan of the space program. And one of my favorite comments you made was you said, you were talking to me about being an American in our space program, and you said, "Please allow me to tell you about your space program." And I said, "Yeah, exactly, because you know so much more about it than I do, even as an American." So I'm excited for every time I think about the new rockets that are coming out and everything else. You're on my mind from that comment when we had the pleasure of going to Florida to say that. So
and I was a fan when I was a boy about that mission to the moon, that people who did not have we as human beings at that time did not have the technical features theoretically to do that all. And there was a bunch of across America who said, "Yes, we will make it, and we will make it happen." And it's for me one of the best stories of pioneer work of the last century.
Yeah, incredible example. And what I took such pleasure in, here's this person born in Germany that, one, knew more about the space program than I did, certainly, but even more so, seeing your passion about that has gotten me to pay a lot more attention to that as we go forward. So as we close, Juergen, I certainly appreciate your time today. You're 34 years there. You've got a lot of plans, I'm sure, coming up in the future. What does the future hold for you, and what are you looking most forward to in the next couple of years?
Let's end where we started, with the story of the beginning, and the story which is the story of Bechtle. We grew from one system house to 2, 4, 7, 8. I think meanwhile we are a group of 127 entities across Europe with GITA, and I think our mission is to grow together, to be one Bechtle, and not only as a marketing thing, but really deep down in our minds, in our attitude, to become one GITA across the globe, because we have only one planet. and we should care about that one planet, and we should care about our culture, and that we live in that, make that little piece of the world we can bring our influences just a tiny bit better.
For sure, for sure. And Bechtle's focus on sustainability is very impressive.
Yes.
And I'm happy to see all the moves you guys are making towards that. And I'm also proud to say that every GITA member has a sustainability program.
Yeah.
It's very important for sure. Well, Juergen, I certainly appreciate you joining me this morning or this afternoon for you. And I appreciate it. It's great to see you as always.
It's a pleasure. The pleasure is on my side. I'm looking forward to see you again in person.
Absolutely. Well, that's the GITA podcast for today. Thank you for joining me. Look at GITA.com for more information and have a great day. Thank you for listening to the GITA Interviews. To find out more about the Global IT Alliance, please visit www.gita.com or follow us for more great interviews.